Hello everyone, greetings of the day. Again, apologies that I was not in a position to post any video for the last couple of months. It was a really busy 2023 for me from a work standpoint. However, the passion for astrology as a subject has never gone down, and hopefully this year I should be in a position to post a lot more videos. uh, I would like to wish you and your families a very happy, prosperous, and eventful New Year 2024. May all your personal and professional dreams come true. God bless. Again, today, the topic of today's video is related to transits, okay, and how they definitely give indications about a strong possibility of certain events occurring in one's life. Uh, I mean, this is not the best example that I really wanted to share, but thought this is again an approach to start looking at horoscopes, and especially people who say that 90% dasha, 10% transits, and all that stuff. I do respect and agree, but I always feel that transits quickly give you an overview in terms of the possibilities and enough indications so that you could take whatever possible measures to circumvent, alleviate, to the extent that your karma allows. So, unfortunately, this example chart is a relative of mine who recently passed away. It was an accident followed by cardiac arrest. While obviously this is not a medical astrology kind of a thing that I am going to cover, it is more about how transits work, and also we will take a quick look at the dasha bhukti, which is again giving signs that a particular event is a strong possibility. Okay, with that said, you can see screen shared the horoscope of the gentleman who passed away recently. I mean, someone known to me, whom I liked a lot. uh, Unfortunately, it's a gone too soon case. Okay, with that background, if you see, this is the horoscope of that gentleman, and his Cancer Lagna. I mean, if you really look at it, two benefics in the Lagna, Jupiter and Venus, the most benefic planets in one's horoscope, and not so badly placed. In fact, Jupiter is exalted in the Lagna, and typically I have heard people say that Jupiter in the Lagna, if it is strong, can mitigate 1,000 doshas in the horoscope. But unfortunately, in this particular case, I don't think Jupiter was in a position to really do much. And okay, now coming back to the main point, if you look at the current transit positions, right, if you see the smaller chart here, so Saturn is right now transiting Aquarius. So transit Saturn is in Aquarius. If you really see, right, transit Saturn is in Aquarius. So this is where we have Saturn transit, right? I have just put T so that you know that this is transit Saturn and not natal Saturn. So transit Saturn right now is in the 8th house. Typically, when transit Saturn is in the 8th house, it's not a very favorable position. It's testing times for that individual. Now, that does not necessarily mean that it is going to cause death, but normally, when transit Saturn is in the 8th house, such incidents are possible, not just to that person, but maybe his near and dear one, someone old in the family, elderly people in the family, that kind of stuff. So typically transit Saturn in the 8th house has a strong influence in driving matters pertaining to chronic illness, some kind of mental worries, anxiety, and sometimes even accidents and even death. Okay, so just because transit Saturn is in the 8th house, one cannot jump to the conclusion that he or she is going to die. Definitely not. And obviously these kind of topics sometimes are even beyond an astrologer's reach, is what I believe. Certain things only God gets to decide. But yeah, nevertheless, cutting all that crap. So transit Saturn in the eighth house. Now we all know that recently Rahu and Ketu also changed houses, and if you can see the transit Rahu position, so transit Rahu is in Pisces, and if you see, here is where we have transit Rahu, right? And remember, transit Rahu right now is on natal Saturn, and natal Saturn here happens to be the eighth lord. So remember, so now transit Rahu is on natal Saturn, or is influencing natal Saturn, which is the eighth lord in the horoscope, natal eighth lord, and transit Saturn is also in the eighth house. So already you have got like two levels of two malefic planets. You got transit Saturn eighth house, and you got transit Rahu on eighth lord. So there is a strong eighth house influence, which obviously gives us an indication that things may not be easy for this person, right? It's really going to be tough times kind of thing, right? And if you really see, right, transit, obviously because transit Ketu is on 8th lord, transit Rahu is also aspecting the 8th lord. So the 8th lord is under the influence of the nodes, right? And also the 8th house is under the influence of Saturn during its transit. So this gives us indications that it's going to be a trouble time, testing time, or a period that could cause a lot of misery to the person. Okay. Now let's go one step further. Okay, if you really want to look at the dasha part, right? So currently this person is running a Venus period, which means Venus Mahadasha and a Venus Bhukti. Okay, now here is where I bring my favorite topic, which I don't see many people using it effectively. I mean, I would request that people explore more and more, and we all collaboratively educate each other. Being in the IT industry, it's like the GitHub of sorts, right, where you got something which is open source, and then there is a large community contributing and improvising and coming up with new and better ideas, and together we all get to learn. It's like a collaborative ecosystem that needs to be created. I think same should be for the subject of astrology, and it's not about guarded secrets every time. Some knowledge should be shared so that the next generation is able to use that as input, and try and explore more and unravel many other mysteries which our rishis and other learned people have discovered, but still not passed on or appropriately documented. Okay, so now if you see, he was running Venus Dasha and Venus Bhukti. Now, the Aruda Lagna in this particular natal horoscope. So this is the Aruda chart of the natal horoscope. If somebody really wants to know how to calculate Aruda Pada, please watch my initial 2-3 videos, and that is the correct way to calculate Aruda Pada. Even today, there are a lot of videos who are not properly considering the exceptions. I mean, the way my guru taught me, that is the exception rule that I use, which I personally believe has not been properly understood by vast majority of the astrological fraternity. Okay, so coming back to the point, in this chart, the Aruda Lagna is in Libra. So basically, this is the Aruda Lagna. I will say this is A1 because it's Lagna A1. So now if you see, he is running a Venus Dasha and Venus Bhukti. Now Venus, okay, which is actually the 8th lord. So Venus is the 8th lord from the Aruda Lagna. Again, as I said, it's not the case that the horoscope will only work from the Lagna. It could work from the moon, it could work from the Aruda Lagna. If you watch my previous videos, I have been stressing on the fact that the horoscope needs to be looked at from more than one angle. Sometimes you may see that he's running a dasha, and then that particular planet is well placed maybe from the Lagna, but in reality from other references it is ill placed or not so well placed, and that's why he's really going through a lot of issues apart from the transits, which will definitely help confirm certain things. So in this case, if you see, Venus is the 8th lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is the 8th lord. Venus is the 8th lord from the Aruda Lagna. Okay. So again, it is giving indications that it's going to be a trouble time kind of thing. Apart from that, the next reference, right, apart from lagna, I always believe that you should look at Arudha Lagna as another reference point, and also moon. In this case, the moon and Arudha Lagna coincide, so Venus also happens to be the 8th lord from the moon. So now you see there are so many 8th house related influences that are getting reflected. One is from a Dasha Bhukti standpoint and also from a transit standpoint. So you've got transit Saturn in 8th, you've got transit Rahu on 8th lord, transit Ketu obviously aspecting the 8th lord, you're running a Venus Dasha, which is basically the 8th lord from the Arudha Lagna. So this definitely gives a broad kind of indication that this is going to be a troubled time, and definitely something that one needs to be careful about. Okay. Okay. Now, if you really look at it, right? I mean, I have one more way of confirming this, and maybe I'll put that in the next video. I was thinking that let's do a Varshaphal analysis of this particular chart, so that you are also able to confirm that this particular year is definitely going to be tragic or dangerous for this guy. So what I have realized and observed is that you use transits, you use Dasha Bhakti, but then after that it is better to use the Varshafal, and then try and pinpoint or confirm the possibility of certain events happening, because that's like a really I would say narrow time frame which you can use to be able to confirm that okay, there are a lot of 8th house related influences that we are observing. Now let's go and look at the Varshafal, and definitely in that Varshafal, if it is again showing 8th house related stuff, then you can be sure that it's definitely going to be problematic and fatal, tragic. So somewhere you can decipher the extent of issues or extent of damage that the particular year might cause. So this is where I am heading towards. I was planning to cover that within this video, but now I think as I present, I thought maybe let that be the next video. But this video is more like I would say setting the stage, where that the 8th house related aspects are active at this point in time when this tragic event happened to that person. I hope you found this interesting, and I'm sure you will have a lot of other observations which I think we should share and collaborate and fine tune and improve our predictions. So stay tuned till I present the next video, which is going to be a Varshafal chart for the same guy, where like part 2 of this video. I hope you liked it, and if you really liked it, please do subscribe or press the like button, so that I am encouraged and I also know that people like this kind of content, and then we can try and put more content, more concepts kind of thing. But I would primarily like to stick to transits, because I believe they work in a wonderful way and give you enough hints. And I am also doing a lot of reading on remedies, so maybe in future I am going to discuss remedial measures and stuff that I have learned from various gurus. Thank you for your patience, and I do hope that you like this introductory video, and we'll take this forward in the next part. Good day. Bye bye.